sector, provided it introduces climate-resilient agriculture. A delegation from a Belgian organization called Entrepreneurs Without Frontiers is currently visiting Namibia to share ideas on fighting desertification, land degradation and climate change through agroforestry. For more, I'm now joined by Werner Sels, the Chief Executive Officer of Entrepreneurs Without Frontiers, and the Chief Operations Officer, Wouter van Hove. Good evening and welcome to the Daily Roundup, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Thank you for being here. Just to start with, perhaps you can help us understand what agroforestry practices are, Wouter.
Well, maybe very briefly, you know that the world is facing severe biodiversity crisis. The deforestation rates are huge all over the globe. At the same time, we have a climate crisis. And actually, what we also know that the victims of climate change are small-scale farmers. They feel the rising temperatures, the irregular rain patterns, increasing drought. So that's a big problem. And agroforestry is actually a great tool, a great strategy to deal with these problems in several ways. First of all, agroforestry is basically the planting of trees together with crops. So by planting trees, you remove carbon from the air, which will mitigate climate change. At the same time, these trees help farmers to adapt to climate change because they create a microclimate under which the possibilities to cultivate crops have been increased. And thirdly, and also very important, is that the trees themselves often produce fruits. And these fruits can be harvested and sold by farmers, which provides them with an additional income. So there's multiple advantages of agroforestry systems.
Also tell us, what type of agroforestry practices Namibia would be able to benefit from, via this project.
Yes, so as you stated, Namibia is a very dry country. That's why we are not able to work or plant trees everywhere in the country. We will need to do that where rainfall is the highest, and that is to the northeast of the country. So that would also be our area of intervention. But even there, we will need to harvest water. So we will use a special technique which consists of digging with special plows, half-moon-shaped bunds in the soil, which can collect water. And by sowing seeds directly in these bunds, in these pockets, we know that the success rate of growing trees, of developing these trees, will be much higher. So that's our main technique that we also hope to deploy in Namibia.
Werner, talk to us about how you plan to assist in the implementation of these agricultural projects.
How we started? Well, we started in Burkina Faso in 2010, and then we realized just 10,000 hectares till 2017, and then we went to Senegal, where we are now establishing 4,000 hectares. We do that in the Great Green Wall project of the African Union, and we would like to do that obvious also in Namibia.
And then how do you plan to assist Namibians in implementing these projects?
Oh, yes. Yeah. Well, in Senegal and in Burkina Faso, we did, of course, we need the population. So we are sure that the forests are growing. So we hope that we also can do that here in Namibia. And first of all, we are going to talk with the local authorities, also the government, of course. What are the habitudes of the Namibians? And then we believe that we can achieve the same goals as we did in Burkina Faso and Senegal.
Tell us a bit about the success stories of Burkina Faso and Senegal. Yeah.
Agroforestation, like Wouter said, has a lot of benefits, and working with the population, we realize a lot of SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals, in Burkina Faso, but also in Senegal. And so for us, reforestation or afforestation is not the goal, but the meaning to reach the goal, sustainable development goals. So, for example, food security, SDG 2, is an important one, but also SDG 4, education, SDG 5, gender equality, SDG 8, economy. Those are the 4 SDGs which are very important to realize. And of course, you have, thanks to the afforestation projects, SDG 13, climate change, and SDG 15, a very important one, biodiversity. We will not plant trees or forests in monoculture. We want as much as biodiverse as possible, not only in flora but also in fauna.
Yeah. Wouter, you did mention that the region that you identified in Namibia which should be most suitable for agroforestry would be up in the north where there's lots of rain. But I'm sure you do know that Namibia also experienced a long period of drought. So how sustainable does this project then become in a period where there is no rainfall in the country?
Well, that's because our philosophy is that we should not work with trees that are not native to Namibia. So we really want to work with indigenous trees, native trees that are drought resistant. And you are right, of course, that climate change is also affecting Namibia, and that also increasing drought in future may affect the survival rate of these trees. But that's precisely why we use these water harvesting techniques. Also, we will set up management committees, and which will consist of the several farmers that will participate into the project, for them to, in cases where it's needed, to do the management of the trees, pruning, etc., so that we have, so that we can cope also with drier circumstances.
The farmers also require, certain machinery and equipment. Are they well equipped, the Namibian farmers?
No, as you know, in the north, the poverty rates are among the highest of the country. So that also means that we will mostly collaborate there with subsistence farmers, who unfortunately do not have all of this equipment. But that's also where we play an important role, because we will have an important collaboration, first of all, with the Ministry of Agriculture of Namibia, who has said that in future they will have a set of tractors, for example, that farmers can rent from them, and that we also will rent to provide plowing service to the Namibian farmers. In cases that would not be enough, there are also larger private landowners who do have this machinery, and we will try to set up agreements with them to rent the machinery and to make them of use to the subsistence farmers in the north.
This type of farming is new to a lot of Namibian farmers. So is there a platform going to be established for skills transfer, and of course job creation?
Yes, that's very important, because as Werner said, we apart from carbon removal, the biggest aim of our project is to have a socio-economic impact and to raise the income of the Namibian farmers. So one way to do that is to involve as much farmers as we can. We will set up a platform, and we will also involve Namibian partners who can help us and who have lots of experience with capacity building and training on how to plant trees, how to maintain trees, and most certainly also how to make value of these trees, how to set up value chains for these fruits, for example. That's a very important component that we also will take care of.
All right. Werner, you've identified food security, education, gender equality and education amongst the SDGs, something that you just touched on earlier as well. Talk to us about why these specific areas were selected and how they speak, to...
Well, when I started with the idea, it was in 2007, long before there was any question about, well, we knew already about climate change, etc., but not the impacts for farmers and for people who are very poor. So we saw in Burkina Faso and also in Senegal that the increase of the population will put a pressure on food. And when you see that land is degraded, it becomes a very big problem. And so you see also a lot of migration to other areas which implement conflicts. So food security is one of the first thing that you need to implement, so people are sure today I have food, but tomorrow I also have food. Education, everything starts with education. When you can give children, boys and girls, education, you see that the country can develop. much faster than before. And also for gender equality, we see that women are very strong in their passion to bring food on the table. They are also responsible that children go to school, and so when they are financially paid, they have a financial independency. So women can also develop by themselves and decide what they want by their own. And I saw, because of those 3 SDGs, I saw that the protection of the forest became big. So I was sure that the forest is growing. Was growing in that time.
Your trip here has been quite short. Do you plan on coming back for a second?
Yeah, actually, it is my second time. I was here back in June in 2022. For sure, we will be back soon. We will set off tomorrow to Rundu, where we will spend another couple of days to explore. Well, first of all, to explore possibilities to set up a pilot project in collaboration with the Ministry of Environment, but also to establish collaborations with farmers.
How will the farmers in the end then be selected to be a part of this project?
Well, it is very important to talk to the traditional authorities because it will not be easy to right away convince all farmers that agroforestry is the way to go for the future, that it is the most sustainable solution for them. So that's a very important talk that will have to take place. At the same time, what we do basically is community-based natural resource management, and Namibia has lots of experience in that. You have quite some community forests in the country, and what we would like to do is actually to develop or to plant new community forests. So to look for collaborations between farmers so that they work together in planting forests at a scale as large as possible. So that's an important thing that we will explore in the days to come.
Fantastic. Well, have fun and obviously lots of success in the following days here in Namibia. That's all the time we have this evening, but thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Well, we'll come back after this. The show continues. In the meantime, let's take a look at a local